we have today a little meeting where the English-speaking people interested in tourism gather, especially here in Dagestan, but anybody from whole Northern Caucasus is of course welcome. So the agenda for today will be 3 things. We have prepared some activity reports from companies working here in tourism already. So you get a little bit of feeling what is going on already. And I will also be asking you guys to share your experience, how 2021 went. Then we have some English masterclasses. Just I want to share with you the stuff that is already going on in Dagestan for international tourists. We have Ali Khan here with us who will tell a little bit about his silversmith masterclass, and we should have another one joining from Untsukul. And at the end, of course, we have an open discussion where we can just ask any questions to the people already working in tourism, to the people new to tourism. So this is the forum we have today. So let me start by showing some numbers from our company. Some of you might know I'm myself from Austria, living here in Kaspiysk since 2 years. Our company is called Dagestan Reise, and what we do, we organize self-drive tours for international visitors. We only work with international guests, and we send them on a tour around Dagestan by their own. Yeah, so this is our specialty, our niche, to give them a car, give them a route, give them some contacts, and they then explore Dagestan on their own. We don't drive with them; they drive on them by their own. Yeah. We had, fortunately, this year about 40 international guests, most of them from Germany, so about 30 from Germany. It was very lucky for us that the second half of the year, the borders, the visas were finally available again. And what we also had, we had about almost 300 visitors in virtual tours. So due to Corona, we decided we also make once a month a virtual tour where we, via the internet, tell them a little bit about Dagestan. And this is very popular. We advertise this on Facebook, etc. And the people come. And so this is also a great way to show them Dagestan even when they can't travel. And I want to tell you a little bit what we did this year to promote Dagestan. We had 2 YouTubers here, Luke Jones from Russia the Other Way, who made 2 YouTube videos. We had German YouTubers here, Carsten, who has a quite decent followership, who made 4 YouTube videos from his travels. We had the German the German travel journal Expedition magazine here. Explorer magazine they are called, and they were here for almost 4 weeks exploring Dagestan, and there will be a big article coming in the next week, the next 2 weeks. And then we also have an article coming with the Extreme Adventure magazine, where they actually found me and asked if I can write a little bit about Dagestan, which will be posted beginning of next year. This is like a big online magazine. So you see, we are actively working on showing Dagestan to the world. And I want to show you one thing, which I think is very interesting. Hello, Saigid, I see you also joined. So let me show you one thing, because the main question is how to measure that all this advertising, that these YouTubers, etc., actually have an impact, how to measure that there is growing interest in Dagestan. Search queries in Google? Very good. I heard search queries in Google, yeah? Let me show my way. It's for sure not the perfect accurate way, or maybe there are other ways, but I will show you what I do to measure that actually it has an impact, what we do, the advertising and showing the world. So what you can do when you have a website, you can check how often each day your website is showing up in Google, not on the first result, but in general. So you can check how often every day somebody looks for Dagestan and your website shows up. So I filtered this to searches which only contain Dagestan. Yeah, not that because our page Dagestan Reise it's aimed for international guests coming to Dagestan. So ideally, anybody who is interested to travel to Dagestan should, in one way or another, have our page at least somewhere on page 3, 4 on the Google results. Yeah. So let me show you the statistics for this year, for the last 10 months. Yeah. So you see, at the beginning of the year, there was almost no interest. Yeah. Nobody was searching for tourism Dagestan. Not the Russian people. Yeah. This is only foreign people. Yes. We just a second. We had a question how to get these results in Google. So this is for people who have a homepage. Yeah, you have to have a homepage, and then there is something called, it's a service for free from Google called Google Search Console. Yeah, if you Google Search Console, you will find it, and then you have to add a little code to your website so that Google says this is really your website and shows you these statistics. Yeah, we can talk afterwards for the technical details. Yeah, so but basically this is the graph I wanted to show you. At the beginning of the year there was nothing going on, and then it increased. Yeah, and for example, this big spike was when Carsten put his first YouTube video online. And just to emphasize again, this is not how many people come to our website. This is how many people were interested in Dagestan and started to search on Google something about Dagestan. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see the same statistic in a year, because I imagine it will go up sky high. I imagine in a year from now, it will be like 10 times higher, the interest. So this is at least my way to measure how international interest is growing. And of course, you can also then check from which countries are the people searching and getting added to this statistic. Yeah. And the big German part, this is our work. This is our advertising, our virtual tours, etc. Yeah, because we are specialized on the German-speaking market. But the United States, for example, this is for sure, Andrew, this is for sure your advertising, and you are bringing Dagestan on the radar of your colleagues from the United States, etc., etc. So if you have a website, you have very powerful tools to actually measure the interest that you can create. You can measure the impact that your advertising has, etc. As I said, we can discuss this afterwards, or we can make a separate workshop one day. It's very interesting, and it's something I'm very much into. I would now hand over to Andrew, because he prepared something similar for his company. Andrew, the screen is all yours. I split it in 2 slides. Yeah, one for Beyond Red Square, one for Caucasus.
Great, thank you. Hey, it's great to be here. It's good to see everyone. My name's Andrew. I'm an American, and my family and I live in Pyatigorsk in the Central Caucasus. There's kind of 2 ways that we work in tourism. One is doing in-person tours to the North Caucasus. We specialize in Mount Elbrus climbs, which is the highest mountain in Europe. Also do tours across the region to the Caucasus. Our company is named Beyond Red Square. And we also launched, along with Andreas, virtual tours to the North Caucasus this year. So this was I would say this was our biggest accomplishment of the year. You know, we did not have a lot of interest in in-person tours this year. We did have some Elbrus clients, but we do have guests who have already booked for next year to visit Dagestan, which is encouraging. And our virtual tours, I think it's a great way to advertise the region. So Andreas is doing our virtual Dagestan tour. We have a virtual Chechnya tour. That's actually our most popular virtual tour, is our virtual Chechnya tour. Dagestan is our second. A virtual Elbrus climb, virtual North Ossetia, just launched that. Virtual Soviet vacation to all the sanatoriums here in Pyatigorsk. And then also virtual Caucasus mountain adventures, which also includes Dagestan, like extreme things in the region. So we're really working hard to continue promoting the virtual tours for Dagestan. And then myself and another American, Eli, he lived in Makhachkala almost a year. We do an audio podcast about the North Caucasus in the English language. So this is really unique. It's the only thing like it in the world. And we've released over 100 episodes in the last 4 years. And it's been amazing to see the response. Our goal with this was because so much of the news in the West is negative about the Caucasus. we wanted to show the region in a positive light. And so that's what we do on the podcast. We just share about our experience living here. We interview lots of local people. So we've had over 45,000 downloads since 2017, and we really had a major focus this year on Dagestan. Since that last tourism conference we did in the spring, we've interviewed a lot of folks actually from this group about their nationality. So we focused on the Lezgins, the Laks, the Tsesdidoy, Kaitags. We have an interview in December with a guy from the Agul region. So this has been just a small way we can contribute, help change people's stereotypes about the region. Yeah, so it's good to be here.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And I know some of you also received international tourists, and I just want to give you also the microphone and just to tell about the guests you had. I heard we had guests from Italy, we had guests from Brazil, etc. We have this microphone, yeah, the red one. You just use it like a real microphone, yeah, and then the guys on Zoom can also hear you.
Hello, guys. Andrew, hello. I'm so glad to see you today. We've had in autumn recording podcast with you, as you remember. Now I remembered you. So, guys, I am English language. That's why, of course, I had international tourists. I worked with them from different countries: America, Netherlands, Italy, Spain, South America, Australia, and New Zealand. On the whole, about 40 tourists. I think all my experience, yes. So, and I can say that it's so challenging when you see people fall in love with your region and you start to love your republic more and more. And especially after getting to know such people like Andrew, I'm so surprised how foreign people can get interested and not only just landscapes, picturesque places, mountains, but actually our culture, because Dagestan is very rich not only in natural landscapes and places, sites, but also, of course, our culture, tradition. I think it's what should be in the focus of tourists and will be in future. And what about the show classes and master classes? Also, it's one of the way to show the richness of our republic, I suppose. And what foreign tourists are really like to see.
Anybody else? Yes, I would like to. Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Abu Sufyan, Abu for short, and I'm from Kaspiysk. I would like to share my experience of having guests from other countries. Last year, I had a guest from France. I had a friend from France, for I've been learning French as well. And when we met, I sent him some pictures of the village called Kaspiysk. And he was just fascinated by the beauty of this village, because many people, let's say, from are used to ancient medieval memorials, but what he saw was abandoned, fantastic village. At least for him, it was fantastic. And he did come, and we had a great chance to spend 5 days together. I showed him around, I showed him Kaspiysk, I showed him Makhachkala, and he was just fascinated by hospitality of our people, by the beauty of our mountains. And by the way, people were so glad to see him. And he has a brother, and he wants to bring his brother back to Dagestan, for his brother make sort of documentary movies, and he wants to create a documentary movie about Dagestan, and hopefully we are going to see next year. So as for me, I was really glad to have an experience like that. For I need to translate, I had to explain everything, but I'm happy, and I hope that I will also have a chance like this. And yes, that's it. And thank you, Andres, for having a chance, for bringing us all together. I'm very thankful for it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aygul. Well, I have met some of the tourists from England and Spain. I accompanied them in South Dagestan, but now well, I also had like my friends from Germany visiting, and one of my friends also, like, he used to work in Germany at a radio station, and he even invited me to take part in his program online when he went back to Germany to tell about Dagestan food to German people. So he liked the food here, he liked the places, and he wanted me to tell more about this to German people. So it's like people are really interested. So that's all I think.
Hello to everyone. My name is Alekhan. My homeland is Kubachi. My grandfather, both grandfathers, my father is javelers, and I'm a javeler too. And a few years ago, I started to work as a tourist guide too. And sometimes I am showing to our tourists, foreign tourists, mostly guests from Andes, how to make rings from the parts of silvers. We are melting them and using rolling mills to make it more thin, and we're bending silver, welding it and polishing it. Some process guests make by themselves. Sometimes I help them, and at the end we have silver rings that are present for them to the remembering, how to say in Russian, it sounds na pamять. Yes, yes. This is last guest from Germany, and we have a great time. So we did 2 rings, one ring on son's finger, and second he keeping by the fingers.
Just because you just started, wait a second, because only one microphone can work. I will switch yours on in a second. Alekhan, when you would say, like, what would you tell to people who would also like to do something similar, to receive tourists, to show them something? What would be the best way to start? What are the things you were worrying about? What are the things you like about showing the tourists, making this masterclass with the tourists?
I will tell about how I started it. It was a surprise for me. I just was reading about Andreas in some posts about conference maybe, and after it we was discuss about master classes, but I thought that my English is too bad. I didn't use it. I'm just sometimes I'm learning English, but it's the first time when I use the English in the direct way. So, but surprise to me, it was I started master classes. The guests are understanding me. It's wonderful, and still strange for me. So I think it's we need just to start and just to try. I think to start this.
Thank you very much. We will have afterwards a couple time for the questions. Let me just show you a second masterclass, and we have live from Untsukul. Let me just put them on the screen very quickly so you see them. Patimat from Untsukul.
Yes. Hello.
So we can hear you very well. Yeah, just a second. I will start the video, and you can talk about the masterclasses you do in Untsukul.
Okay, good. And first of all, I want to thank Andreas for this opportunity to join you on Zoom. Thank you very much. And I want to tell you what are we famous for. My brother is Saigid. He is the youngest craftsman in our village. And we live in sunny Unsukul with its beautiful landscapes, mountains, and pupils. And also Unsukul is well known in all over the world by its masters and our products with ornamental metal notching on wood. Unsukul is also the center of art handicraft. And Sagit and I'm just a translator. Sagit conducts masterclasses and show tourists the way our products are made. Everyone have an opportunity to watch the whole process and also to try it by themselves. We held masterclasses about 3 years. And this year, Sagid built this showroom. I think you can see this room. And here we meet our guests, our tourists, and show them the master classes. And they also say that it's very comfortable for them. And our products our products are very unique. They are full of finest silver or capronickel notch and geometric, original and distinctive ornament. For our products, we use wood from fruit trees, and we use it because they are hard types of wood and only they hold a notch. And first of all, we make the shape of the product on the machine. And this process we show on the workshop. And after that, the other processes we show in our showroom. Everything you can see in our video. Can you see it, Andreas?
Yes, the video is shown. The video is here on the screen.
Okay. And Unsukul used to be the capital of gunsmith on that times. And after Caucasian War, Tsarist Russia forbade us to produce weapons. And since our craftsmen had experience in working with metal on wood, they converted their skills into ornamental metal notching on wood. So, and I think it's, our tourists say that it's very uniqueness and very interesting for them. And we hope so.
Yeah, thank you very much. Do you like what would you say for anybody interested to work with international guests, to show them something? Where should they start? What is the thing that is interesting for international guests, especially?
Of course, people should know what Dagestan are famous for. I think they are very interested in it because they like to watch our mountains, our landscapes, because the nature is very beautiful, and we have different arts, not only in Unsukul but in other villages too. And advertisement is very good thing to I don't know.
Thank you. Does anybody here has a question for Patimat? And just grab the red microphone and just speak to her. Just a second. Let me give you a voice.
This summer we've arranged a masterclass not in Unsukul, in Shemilkala, because some of people from your village, they moved to Shemilkala, and tourists, they are not foreigners, they are Russians, but also they were very impressed. And I have a question. only boys can deal nowadays with this craft, or girls also can do something and help?
Our art, you want to say?
Yeah, craft, your craft.
No, our women also make it, but only men work on the machines to make the shape of the product or the stamp, and to make the notch and other things make women too.
So you help. And how approximately how many people nowadays in your village deal with this craft?
Approximately 40 people. But not all of them can make all the processes of our art. Some of them make the shape, some of them make only the notch, and so on. But Saigid can do everything.
Okay.
And can show all the processes to our guests.
And who teaches you? Do you have some teachers?
No, we don't have teachers. Saigid went to other craftsmen to watch the process, and he just showed the process, how they make the products, and that's how he learned it.
Okay, in practice. Thanks for the answers.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Just grab the
Почему мungkin akan tadi kulit?
Any from the Zoom audience maybe to Unsukul?
What? Excuse me?
I was just asking if maybe anybody who joins virtually has a question for you. Otherwise, I would like to show you one more masterclass, and this is this masterclass, I think anybody can relate to. This is about making chudu, and this is actually my mother and my kids. And my mother visited in summer, and by chance we met at the Kazanoy Lake Fatima, who is also an English teacher, and she was most happy to meet us. And right there on the spot, we developed a Chuda masterclass in English. Yeah, she actually, her family has. If you drive on the Dagestan part, just on the left side, there is a little tour bus, and Besedke, this is her place. So if you go there in summer, you will meet Fatima, yeah? And if you have tourists, international tourists, she speaks perfect English and does a great Chudu masterclass, yeah? And I just wanted, unfortunately, she couldn't come today. She's living in Makhachkala and working there. But I just want to show you that you don't need to be to have super special training to create something interesting for foreigners. Yeah, the bottom line of this masterclasses is it should be something which is an experience where the people can touch it, where the people can try it. Yeah, this is what the people will remember. Ideally, they bring something home. Yeah, like Alikhan with his silver rings, just perfect. They eat this. The delicious chudo which they made. They have unzukel where they can take the artifacts where they know the master who made them. And there are so many more things here in Dagestan, starting from making carpets or just the old things that your grandparents maybe still know the skills. Yeah, shearing the sheep, turning the wool, weaving the wool. These are all very interesting things for foreigners. And if you know how to present these skills, if you can do it in a language that the guests understand, you are set to make a masterclass. Yeah, the comment was that 50% of the girls can do a Chudu masterclass. I say yes and no. Yeah, first of all, you need. Yes, but first of all, you need to know the language, yeah, because ideally, of course, the master should be able to speak in a language that tourists understand. And I really prefer to send my people to master classes where there is no translator needed. because it's just more personal to have no translator in the middle. Yeah. So our company, we send the people to masterclasses where there is no translator needed. Unzukal is just a special case, because I'm very happy that we have at least Patimat and Saigid, which are a very good team in presenting this. Yeah. And also you have to be a little bit unique. Yeah. If we have now 20 people making English to the masterclass, this will be nothing special. Yeah. Take the brick, please, when you have a comment, so the people on Zoom also can hear you, please. Just a second.
As I understood, you inspire us to do something unique, something interesting, and if we can provide something interesting. I mean, even in our territory, for example, as for me, I'm a teacher of English at my own courses, right? And if I have such kind of interesting master classes for foreigners, if I tell you that I have something unique, so you can invite foreigners to my courses.
Absolutely, this is what we do. Yeah, this is exactly what we do. We
wanted to make sure what you want from us. We're just to be translators. What this both, right? Yeah.
Yes, so we are looking on some interesting experience, something that the guests say, wow, this was really amazing. Yeah. Can be many different things. It should just something which is connected to Dagestan, to the culture here, to the food here, to some Dagestan masterclass experience. Yes, and you are the one creating these events. We can do it together. Yeah, like with Ali Khan, he said, yes, I would like to make a masterclass, and I just visited him and we developed it together. I gave him a couple of tips. We did the first test run. We got feedback from the guests. We refined it. Yeah, no masterclass is perfect from the very beginning. Yeah, we just start and then we make it better. So we make it together. Yeah, and I want to show you a specific offer and specific numbers from our company. Yeah, so for next year, as I said, our guests, they travel on their own, usually 2 people. Yeah, and what we offer is, even without the masterclass, yeah, if you just meet them in your village, if you are a teacher or if you are a person who lives in the region and you just meet our guests and just chat with them, show them around a little bit, feed them, yeah, it's like we are most happy to pay you 1,500 rubles for this. Yeah, it should be win-win for everybody. It should be a chance for the people in the village to practice their English, to practice the language, to meet new people. It should be a chance for the guests to speak directly to the Dagestani people, to get a feeling for this wonderful hospitality. And of course, it should be also financially win. Yeah, so we are most happy to support this. Yeah, and for the masterclasses themselves, yeah, it's up to 3,000 rubles, depending on what you do. Yeah, so there is also money in this whole thing. Are there any comments from the Zoom audience? Then I would like to show you one more thing, and this is NorthCaucasus.Travel. We said today, Andrew also said it, there is a lot of negative information, old information on the internet. Yeah. So I created a web portal. I created a web portal called NorthCaucasus.Travel, and you will have time to go there and check it out yourself. Yeah, it's just being developed. The idea, yeah, is to have one place for English-speaking people interested in traveling in the North Caucasus, where they just have all the contacts, all the offers in English, in the language they understand, in one place. Yeah, and the idea is that you have a place where you can present yourself as an English-speaking member of the tourism community. And the second idea is to have a place where we showcase our efforts. Yeah, for example, you will find there the recording of today's conference, I'll also put there, just to have it in one place. Now it's of course focused on Dagestan because we started here, but it's like open for the whole North Caucasus, just to have a place where you find everything related to international tourism. And let me show you an example. Yeah, Gimat, who is also joining here. He is a very experienced mountain guide. He was actually already showing Dagestan to international tourists during Soviet times. Yeah, and he wants to grow it again. He wants to show to make the Dagestan and the Caucasus an attractive destination again for international guests. And this is, he has no big company or website. He's only one person. Yeah, but he can have a place on this site. Yeah, where he can show the pictures, show his contacts, show what he's doing, show his routes, his prices, his phone number, etc. Yeah, just a way for the people to know about him and to find him. And this offer to put something on this page is open to anybody. Yeah, if you want to create something, I'll happily give you the login and you can build it yourself. If you have ever done a Word document and put some pictures in a Word document, it's not much more difficult to put a website. Yeah, you don't have to be a programmer. It's just like Microsoft Word to make a document. Yeah, so if anybody's interested, you're most welcome.
Is he a surgeon?
Yes, he is a surgeon as well. Yeah, you can ask him directly. Just take the brick. Gimat is also on this call. You can talk him. You can ask him.
Hello, Gimat. It's so interesting. I've read that you're a surgeon with 30 years of experience and you're a qualified guide. So how can be these two different kinds of experiences be together? And is it your hobby to be a guide?
Yes, it was my hobby in this 40 years, maybe from students' time. So I just continue my hobby.
How can you do being a surgeon and being a guide? Is it difficult or is it interesting? I mean,
what? Sorry, I muted you.
Sorry, what about the voice? You hear me?
yeah.
That's my first time when I'm using Zoom. So I'm sorry if something is wrong. Hello to everybody. It is my hobby, of course, and hobby from this maybe 45 years. Mountain tourism is something like a kind of sport. So if you have time for tennis or football, anywhere you can find time for mountaineering, for trekking. It's no problem to find time if you want.
Yes, great. I agree. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to this page and to get some people to visit Dagestan.
Sorry, it was a question for me.
No, I just wanted to thank you to basically be the first to be on our North Caucasus travel page and to grow this together.
Yes.
And to bring people next year to show them the wonderful mountains here by foot.
Yes, I hope that it would be possible. Foreign tourists must return in Dagestan, I'm sure. It was possible in 88, 89. It stopped in 19th. I think the 19, maybe 93, beginning of Chechen war. I hope was possible to restore. And I have some ideas about masterclass also in mountains. It is a long story to explain what was in the beginning of foreign trekking in Dagestan. Now a mountain village, far mountain village, are dying, but people can remember what they did in mountain villages. Just ordinary life, to build houses, to milk the cows, to make a cheese. I think it is possible to restore this daily life in mountain villages also, and show this like master classes to foreigners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I fully agree. It will be very interesting. So this North Caucasus travel, let me show it again. So it's, as I said, it's not must, it's just an offer from my side. Yeah, if you want to have a page somewhere where you present yourself as a tour guide, as a mountain guide, as somebody who makes a masterclass, this is the place. You just have to do it yourself. I give you the space, you have to build it yourself. Yeah. And the second thing, as I said, the idea of North Caucasus travel is just to showcase, to collect somewhere all the English-speaking tourism events. Yeah. So some of you have been in April at the conference. I put already everything there. I will put there all the recordings from this conference, and future events, of course, will also be there, just to have a central place for the English-speaking tourism community. And I would like now to invite Dmitry. Are you here to say also a couple of words? Dmitry is from Caucasus Explorer, and he has also for international tourists here. Thank you. We can hear you.
Oh, great. This year was quite strange for me. I had not so many tourists. I was more focused on making the trail.
Can you, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dmitry, can you just explain introduce yourself with 3 words, because I'm not sure that everybody knows you.
Yes, my name is Dmitry. I started exploring the Caucasus from 2003, I think, and in the beginning it was Abkhazia and South Ossetia, and I made online guide about South Ossetia. You can see it Ossetia.guide, and approximately from 2013 I started making tours to Dagestan, and from the beginning I was more aimed on foreign tourists than on Russian tourists. And I think from 2017 my company started making tours mostly for foreign tourists. But because of pandemics, I had to change lifestyle and change my aims and start working, of course, with Russians to survive. And now I'm happy to come back to international tourism again. And but these 2 years almost without job gave me time, and gave me time mostly for thinking what I want to do for the Caucasus next. Because maybe I became a little tired of tourism. I mean, I became tired of making tours. I want something different, and for me, it's interesting to make a project developing regional development projects, like the guide about South Ossetia. And now me and my comrades, we making a pedestrian trail from the Caspian Sea to the Black Sea. We started from Dagestan. So now we are making a route and building a trail from Derbent via Kubachi, Balkhar, next to Goor, Tindi, and further to Chechnya. We have just finished marking the first stage. It's from Derbent to Kubachi. in some parts of this route, they are marked very well. I just came back from Dagestan yesterday and worked a lot with an axe and with paints. Now the part between Derbent, Mitagi, Kamach, Zidian, and Gijuk Lake marked very well. You can walk there even without your iPhone navigator, only using our marks made on trees and other places. And of course, now we are mostly aimed on Russian tourists, but my idea is that in 2 years, I think it will be mostly international, it will be mostly foreign tourists who travel on this trail, because the culture of hiking, the culture of traveling by feet without a heavy backpack is not developed in Russia yet. But it's very well known, it's very well developed in the West. So we are sure that more and more Western hikers will come and use our trail. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes, everybody listening.
Great. So, of course, we will be happy to know people who live somewhere on our route, on our trail, who can invite people to their houses, make classes, and so on. And till now, our route is not finalized yet. I mean, we are still always in research how to make the route. And it will be not only one. It will be many alternative trails which people can choose according to their interest. For example, mostly from Derbent to Karadagh Gorge in Gunim district, it is one trail. I don't think it will be many alternative ways, but after that we divide it. One will go left to direction of Gor, another one will go to Hunzach area, and they will meet in Tindi. And maybe there will be more alternative ways. So if somebody really wants to work with foreigners, who wants to invite hikers, we can change our route just because of this person. Because I believe that it is mostly people who create the experience during the travel. Yes, nature is also important, but people is the most important in the country. And if you know someone who is interested, just please tell me, tell everybody about these people.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Dmitry. We have, of course, the link to your contacts on NorthCaucasus.Travel already on the site. And when your website goes online, we will also share it in our WhatsApp group so that people will know how to reach you and what's the current state of the Caucasus Trail.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I see Julia also joined from Adventure Dream Team. Julia, would you also like to introduce yourself and your company and how your year went in 2021 concerning international guests, international tourism?
Hi everyone. Sorry, I am without video. I just want to say hello. And Andreas, sorry that we couldn't send something for your presentation. Well, maybe next time we will do our best. Yeah, it was very interesting to read.
Can you introduce yourself a little bit? Because also I'm not sure everybody knows you. Where you are, what you do.
Of course. I'm Julia. Our travel company is called Adventure Dream Team. We are based in Pyatigorsk, and we do different cultural tours and hiking tours. Well, that's in general. We are trying to promote sustainable tourism in the North Caucasus because it's a real problem for this area, because no one knows what is sustainable travel, sustainable tourism. Well, that is what we are trying to focus our tours on this concept? Well, that's in general, Andres. I think I'm not really ready to spend a lot of your time. So yeah, thank you for giving me a word.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to more from your company and from this area.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. So is there anybody else from Zoom who would like to contribute something? I don't know all of you guys who joined there. Otherwise, I would like to just go over to the open discussion. And before we do so, just two things I want to share. Some of you or most of you are probably already there. We have a WhatsApp group just for the English speakers working in tourism, mainly for Dagestan. I can add you to the group. Saida can add you to the group. Yeah, just to have WhatsApp is just a thing I found out works best in Dagestan. Yeah, and so this is just to get quickly in touch with each other. And a second thing I would like to announce. Next year we have a big event planned. So the date is already set on the 9th of April. It will be in Kaspiysk again. It will be a big conference with speakers and international guests again. The details will follow, just that you can mark the date. And then I would like to just go into the open discussion. Any questions? Anybody can talk with anybody. I'm very happy to see such a wonderful audience here. For Scott, I think you have been invited by Andrew. Could you say a couple of words? Because I also see you for the first time.
Okay. Yes, that's correct. I was invited by Andrew. Yes, that's correct. Yes, I'm an ethnographer from America. I live in Pyatigorsk as well. Was here before COVID, but now have returned. And I'm studying Russian right now at the university, and then look forward to using my ethnographic skills in the North Caucasus in the near future. So I make documentary films and write articles on different cultures and stories that especially haven't been told before.
And Scott is a if anybody needs his drone services, I'm offering them to you. He makes really good videos.
Thank you. Are you two working together? Okay.
No, we're not, but I've met a lot of foreigners here in Pyatigorsk, and he's produced some good material already about the Caucasus. So definitely trying to help him find his way for sure.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to ask you, why don't you come to Makhachkala to learn this Russian language? Why do you like Pyatigorsk so much? Thank you.
Is it
so difficult to get to Makhachkala? Do you have any problems getting to Makhachkala? So it would be great for us to practice English as well. We could help you to. Why don't you come? Just think about it. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, we're inviting you, guys. Come to Makhachkala. Don't be afraid. We won't bite you.
Thank you.
Anybody has questions? Just the scene is open for discussion. Yeah, don't be shy. Also, Of course, take the break just that the people also hear you in Zoom, please.
I just had a question for everyone. What do you think about art tours? Because art tours are really popular in the Caucasus. For example, in Sochi, people organize this kind of tours. And for example, they just take canvases and paint, and they go to beautiful places. What do you think, guys, about this idea if we organize this and if you invite tourists for these tours?
So we can answer.
No, I have
Second question.
okay. Second question. You can consider the continue of first one. Question to foreigners who are coming or willing to come to Dagestan. I just wonder, what do you expect to see here? What are your expectations and what are your interests? What are your interests when you come to Dagestan? It can help us to prepare much better programs, tour programs, and it will be more interesting for us to understand. Okay, what are you expecting? What are your expectations when you come to Dagestan? Thank you.
Let's start with the first question. So the art tours, yeah. So who brings artists to Dagestan? How to put Dagestan on the map of such people who would be interested to go with a canvas to the mountains?
Art tours.
Basically, we have artists here, and if some foreigners are interested in coming to the Caucasus, to Dagestan, and painting beautiful villages like Chokh, for example, or Gamsutal, it would be, interesting for them. So maybe someone is interested, and we can organize this kind of activities.
I'd like to add something. First of all, Ayvazovsky. I think everybody knows him, especially Russian. He's a Marinist. He's a famous artist who depicted sea. But in Dagestan, he changed to his tradition, and he made a picture. He created a picture, Gunip, and there was a mountain depicted there. About the arranging of art tours, it's a great idea, I suppose, but I've never seen anybody here doing this. It's something new, unique. But I've arranged a kind of art tour from Dagestan to Karachaevo-Cherkessia. It's a republic done by nice nature. Yes, and I've took an artist from here, and there we arranged a kind of masterclass. We were just sitting, looking at the mountains, glaciers, and there were children also, children, teenagers, adults, and she showed us how to do this, how to create beautiful pictures, and it was a great experience. I think that in Dagestan also it's quite possible. Just it's necessary to advertise. Yeah.
Yes, Saida, thanks for sharing your proposition. It's a great idea because I'm an artist myself. I paint nature as well. So if somebody wants to arrange some master classes, I think I can share my experience and can try to paint something. I would like to take part in something like this. It's a great idea. So,
can I add something?
Yeah.
And also my experience as a traveler, not as a tourist guide. I also like traveling, and I have a friend from Petigorsk. He's arranging trips, and he has quite a long experience of dealing in this for about 10 years. In summer, I went to Ossetia, and there we had an experience of painting on stones, and it was so nice, really extremely cute when you can do something, create something, and even if you are not professional, you are shown how to do this. So it's also like a good idea.
So, but I just want to say that we already organized one masterclass workshop with the locals. And we went to the park in Makhachkala and we were painting beautiful paintings. So finally that happened. So I hope the park, the trees and the, autumn landscapes. So I think that if you go to the mountains, to beautiful villages, that going to be even more, impressive. So, and I'm sure that we will find tours. There would be people who would be interested in going, not just visiting, but also painting and having these kind of workshops. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Can I respond to that, Basira?
Andrew?
I would just add, yeah, I'd add two things. I think, like, I'm not sure I've ever seen in the West an art tour advertised to Dagestan. So this is not what people think of when they think of Dagestan. So Basira, I would encourage you, start making content that you're putting online about art tours to Dagestan, because for it to even happen, people need to be able to find it, right? So whether it's your Instagram page, blogs, a website, you need to start putting the content up so people can find it. But I know that there are lots of Western tour companies that have these niche tours like you're talking about to different countries. So you could probably search and find people who are already running tours like that to Morocco, maybe to like St. Petersburg and Moscow, to Prague, to France. And then you would want to contact them and say, hey, would you be interested in coming to Dagestan to run the same tour? Because they already have the clientele that they do these tours with, and they're looking often for new locations. So if you're wanting to like move that forward, that would be my suggestion.
Great idea. I didn't think about contacting foreign agencies or tour companies, you know, but I do post my content online. We have an Instagram page. We have just started, you know, but we hope that it would be more and more popular here in Dagestan. Especially, I think Western tourists, they really love this kind of activities, you know, paintings and yeah.
Photography tours are extremely popular in the West, and I don't think there's many that are coming to Dagestan yet. Probably if they have, they've come with Gimat, with Caucasus Explorer, but that niche is there. You just have to grow it. I'm sure there are already companies offering art tours to foreign countries, so you would want to try to connect with them.
Like tourists, you was seen more in Dagestan, and which place impressed you the most?
Just we have a third question, but just before we get back to Sultan's question, yeah, which was to the foreigners, like, what do you expect when you come to Dagestan? What do you think about when you come? Just take the brick, please.
I welcome everybody. I work in tourism from Soviet time, and those tourists came here from that time in Gorbachev era. They told we have seen 5 continents, but we have met here unbelievable hospitality. On the point, on the question of the security, the official figure is that the security in Dagestan 2.8 times higher than in average in Russia. And here in Dagestan, here in Dagestan, security 2.8 times higher than average in Russia. And well, great travelers from Germany 4 years ago, they told that Dagestan is colored in yellow color. It's most dangerous, but when they have been here, they say it is very secure land, and here great hospitality. This year here were a couple from Mexico. They have come here, as they told, to see Circassian Caucasian women with white skin. He has come here to free Prometheus from chains. And he says that I go to Elbrus to free him, but I tell him that in our Shalbuzlar he was chained, because the view of this mountain look like as a body of the man who is chained and who speaks with the heavens, with Zeus, because he has given the people fire, and he teaches the people different arts. Therefore, Zeus told to his slaves to chain him. And I told him that Prometheus was chained in Shalbuzdak, not anybody else, because this Shalbuzdak mountain It looks like a man who was chained with heavens about that, and Heracles, the most famous hero of the Greek time, has come and freed him because Prometheus told him where to find apples, gold apples.
So sorry.
And in Dagestan, organized 2 times a year astronomical festivals. Not a long time ago, in Majalis district, Kaspiysk district, there was world's gastronomical festival, and the world famous chefs come here to be juries at this gastronomical. Dagestan as well as Caucasus is very famous of cuisine. People come.
Just a second. The people come. Wait a second. Only one can speak because otherwise they cannot hear us. My microphone is on. Just a second. The people. Just a second. So the people come, and one major problem, I think you brought up very well, that they think it's dangerous, that they read the outdated stuff, that they see the information from their Office for Foreign Affairs, that you should not travel here. And then they come and they see with their own eyes that it's completely different, that it's safe here. And this is, I think, something we have together to work on to make sure that the people spread the word that Dagestan and the North Caucasus is not a dangerous place. It's a safe place. This is a very important point.
A very secure place, land in Dagestan, because the people usually are afraid to come here because of sanctions, because of the lockdown, less and less tourists last 2 years.
Yeah, you know, you about Dagestan is a safe place, and I really bear this question in my mind. Recently, I have been to the trip to Hunza, and I met girls from Yekaterinburg, and they said, nowadays, it was about maybe 2 weeks ago, they said, oh, when we were going to Dagestan, everybody told us in our city, our friends, our relatives, where are you going? What are you doing? It's such a dangerous place, and etc., etc. So they have a negative stereotype about Dagestan. And that's why I want to ask you, in your country, in the USA, and Andrew, I forgot what country I'm from. Do you have such negative stereotype about Dagestan that people are kidnapped, can be kidnapped, and there are such I don't know how to say uncivilized place and etc. So because I was really shocked when this girl said that in Yekaterinburg everybody thinks that it is so dangerous place to come. And what about your country? What about maybe people you know? How do they think? What is their attitude to Dagestan? Thank you.
I'm from the United States. I would say most people in the United States do not know Dagestan. I mean, even the whole Caucasus region, that word Caucasus, very few people know where it is. The things they've heard of are Chechnya and Dagestan. And if they know anything about these two regions, it's probably from the time of the Chechen Wars. And that's it. So those like negative connotations, maybe something they saw in the news, have stuck with them for 20 years. Also, the United States State Department travel warning to Dagestan is still really negative. And so this affects how people view the region. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Now, what's changed about Dagestan in the past 5 years is Habib Nurmagomedov has really changed people's view of Dagestan in America. a lot of people know Habib and like him. And a lot of MMA and UFC fighters know these fighters from Dagestan, Islam Makhachev, Zabit, you know, a lot of these different guys. So I actually think that's been positive press for Dagestan, but most people just don't know it. So yeah, it's just to continue to promote. I think Instagram is a great tool with the beautiful pictures. Obviously we know it's safe. We live here. We know, but it's going to take time. And like you said, a lot of Russians still have these bad stereotypes. So it's just going to take time. You just keep doing it, keep promoting on Instagram, and it will spread by word of mouth.
I saw Gimat and Luisa, you also wanted to add? Gimat, maybe first? Please, yes, now
yes.
we can hear.
Thank you, Andres. About safety in Dagestan and the dangerous things in Dagestan. Are you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
That's a paradoxical situation, and this situation is within 30 years maybe. Dagestan in same time is dangerous and friendly. Dangerous statistically. What means dangerous? We have no good water at first in cities. We have no good electricity at first in villages. In winter time it is about not 220 but 150. We have no good roads. We have no good drivers on these roads. We have no sanitary good food in cities. We have no sanitary condition in cities. Any rain in cities make our cities like a bathroom or like a water pool, and so on. Dagestan is dangerous because it is not comfortable infrastructure inside. But people in Dagestan are not dangerous. These two things in the same time you must put in the mind. What is statistically dangerous and what is dangerous in living condition? Maybe in Moscow is more dangerous to go from metro to your home, but road would be good, drivers would be good. Criminally dangerous, Moscow is of course more dangerous. Criminally, Dagestan is not so dangerous like a big city in Russia. What I am usually explain to tourists in Dagestan, you must afraid not from people, not from friends, from administration of countries and so on. You must be afraid because everything is not usually from years to years works in bad condition. But if you understand what to do against this bad condition, like we made it in Soviet time, it is no problem. So you really need friends in Dagestan to be in comfort. You need not only guides, but friends. And Dagestan is friendly in such direction. You no problem to find friends, and you need the friends to be in safety. That's what I want to tell. Thank you.
Thank you. Luisa?
Hi, thank you. I'll just briefly introduce myself because I haven't so far as well. I'm Louisa King. I work as a Russian to English translator based in Bath in the west of the UK. I probably echo Andrew as much as anything. I think an awful lot of people here just haven't heard of Dagestan. I'm very sorry to say that.
Sorry. May I ask you to speak a little slower? We just don't have a perfect audio system here.
Of course, I'm sorry. I'd echo Andrew in saying that an awful lot of people here haven't heard of Dagestan, unfortunately. I had heard of it because I'm a Russianist and have been for a long time, but in general, and I think probably the perception would also be that it is dangerous, unfortunately. That's partly, I think, because as our own societies in the West have become safer, we've become more risk averse. And also, again, because of the information that's sent out by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office in the UK to travellers, it's probably somewhere you'd be discouraged from going. But I'd certainly encourage getting the message out there that it's both safe and beautiful. I'm guessing you'd be focusing very much on the outdoor travel experience, hiking and exploring, etc. But that would be my very small amount of feedback based on answering that question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I also would like to add my own view. We had like 40 guests, 50 maybe. And to my surprise, the question of safety and is it dangerous in Dagestan comes very rarely. And the reason is they find first the beautiful pictures, they find the positive stuff, and they just don't worry about it. They are just experienced travelers who have no problems to go somewhere where there is no established tourist destination. And they also don't have a problem with bad roads and bad infrastructure. They know what waits for them here. And this is the interesting thing, that it's not mainstream tourism destination here. So I believe the way to change the perception is to put more positive information out, and eventually the old outdated information will disappear on page 75 on Google, yeah? And the people just will not read it anymore. And eventually one day also the official travel warnings will be ended, yeah? Veronica, you wanted to say something? Take the brick, please.
Foreigners don't watch Russian TV. That's why they haven't such awful stereotypes about the Dagestan. What I want to say.
Negative, yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm Gimat, and I have a little idea. Maybe it's a joke, not. It's have a real. Do you know Kaspiysk? Kaspiysk is a man, a person. I think is more popular than Khabib Nurmagomedov and other people. It's a little man, and my offer make him to say some words when he will be sitting on knees of Dana White and say, Dagestan is a bomba, честно говоря. And everybody will, Americans and other people from other countries, what is a Dagestan? And spelling in Google and other searching system. And I think Andreas' diagram will be right. Will be right, true, or maybe 10 false, yes. Thank you.
So thank you very much. So we have here, you raised your hand and you also had the question, what is the most interesting place in Dagestan? Yeah, this is also, let's address this question first. So who to me, for me, the most interesting thing. So let's just a second. Let's first address the question, what is the most interesting thing in Dagestan, yeah?
And what places impressed you the most?
For me personally, last year was pandemic. There were no guests coming for us. So we, together with my wife and my children, we spent about 20 weeks traveling Dagestan. We spent like more than 20 weeks on the road. We drove 15,000 kilometers all around Dagestan. And for me, the most impressive attraction in Dagestan are the Dagestani people. The hospitality, the way how they meet you, how they meet strangers. We have so many stories, great stories where we just parked somewhere in the middle of nowhere and the people came and say, you stand on my land, open the back of their car, put the homemade jam out, say, take this, take this, take this, you know, come for breakfast. Dagestan has so much, but if I would have to narrow it down to one word, I would say it's the Dagestani people. Imogen, what do you say about it as a foreigner coming to Dagestan?
Hello everybody. My name is Elvira. Hi everyone, I'm Imogen from Australia, but I live here in Dagestan. Okay, I would have to agree. I think Dagestan is its people. Like the most amazing thing you'll find here are the people that kind of welcome you with open arms. And I've lived here for 11 months now, and I already feel like I have aunties all over the south of Dagestan. Like, even if I had no money, I would never be at risk of starving. I get fed so much here. But in terms of like places in Dagestan, I think the most beautiful place I ever saw was Shinatskaya Dolina. It's in South Dagestan in Rutulsky region. It's like Greenland maybe, or just unbelievably beautiful place. And whenever I go there, there's absolutely no one there, which is amazing in and of itself. And I imagine that there's just like hundreds of little pockets of Dagestan like that, just waiting for people to kind of stumble into them. Yeah, that's my.
Thank you very much, Imogen. So we have another question, please.
And maybe it was Gunib because people who didn't visit Gunib, people say that they didn't visit Dagestan in the generally. Visit Gunib, anybody?
Yes, of course, we also visited Gunib. I always call the Gunib region the heart of Dagestan. It's like in the center, and it's also the heart of tourism in Dagestan in the mountains. Yeah, there pretty much any tourist comes via Gunib. Yes, please. Just a second.
Andreas, I have a question for you. I heard that you have been living here for 2 years, and where did you manage to visit, and where did you like it more?
Yeah, as I said, we have been all around Dagestan. We have visited almost any place, and I couldn't nail it down to say, okay, this is the most beautiful place. Dagestan has such a variety, depending on the season, depending on with whom you're traveling, what you're looking for. I would say if you ask 100 people what is your favorite place in Dagestan, you probably get 100 different answers. It's just it just depends on what you're looking for.
I remember. So it's addressed to you, Andreas. That's a very trivial question. What do you think about the Dagestan people's mentality?
What is really special is the hospitality. It's just the way how to meet foreigners. You feel immediately welcome. This is something which is unique, especially when you come from Germany. Our German guests, they often tell me they are shocked. They need a couple of days to switch from the cold German way, German, yeah, like everybody has its distance, to the warm welcome to Dagestan, chai budish, давай садись, скормим тебя, the Dagestani way. It's just completely different. And it's also something you have to keep in the back of your mind when you travel Dagestan with foreigners, that they have a completely different understanding of society, of welcoming guests, of how long it takes to get acquainted, etc. So this is special about this region. But you only know that it's special when you have seen other places and other mentalities and other ways how societies work. Yeah. Thank you.
Andreas, have you noticed, this question is for you, have you noticed that we Dagestanians are different from each other a bit? Have you noticed any difference at all? We have so many different nationalities. Different cultures. Have you noticed that?
Honestly, for me as a foreigner coming here, there is not so much difference between one place and the way how the khinkal are made is different, yeah. But the people maybe have a little bit different way to dress. But I'm not long enough here. I'm not an ethnograph that I would pick up these little fine differences. Not yet. Maybe if I live here a couple of years. The languages, yeah, I don't understand any of them, but I hear that the languages are different, yeah. I really like the languages in the region of Andi because they speak the which is similar to how the mountain, the Austrian, which is spoken in the mountain, they also have this dialect, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really know any Dagestani languages, words, etc. I'm happy that I can communicate in Russian, yeah. But I only know a very, very few words. Not like Russian is fine with me. I'm happy that the people speak Russian here, and I'm happy that I meet many people who also speak English and other languages. But you don't have to ask all questions to me. There are Americans here. There are people from the UK here. There are people working with tourism.
Hey, I can add. So I live in Pyatigorsk, but I've traveled throughout the whole North Caucasus region. First of all, somebody was asking, like, what is the most unique thing about Dagestan? I would say about the Caucasus in general, yeah, it's the people's hospitality. This is what blows foreigners away every time. Just how warm people just immediately embrace them, sit them down, feed them. Derbent, I've been to all the major cities in the North Caucasus, and Derbent is so unique. It feels like another country to me compared to the rest of the Caucasus. Yeah, it's hard for me to describe. It kind of almost feels like Middle East or Asia or something compared to the rest of the Caucasus. So I think Derbent is just really unique in that sense. I would say my experience with all the different Caucasus nationalities, I think Dagestanis are the most funny of all of them. I think I laugh the most when I'm spending time with people from Dagestan. So much joking, so much laughing. Yeah, so that's what I would say.
I know that Andrew looks like this in a way. Andrew, you know, I wanted to tell you before, but always for yeah. You look like a Dagestan. Maybe you have some roots. You have some Caucasian roots. Do you know anything
Maybe.
about this?
I know my mother's family is from Norway and Denmark. My father's family, we don't know as much. So maybe like I have some Dagestani mountain roots from my dad's side. Who knows?
I will repeat my question if no one minds. People foreigners who come here first time, who don't know anything about Dagestan, and what do you expect when you come here? I think it will help us to prepare better tourist programs in future. Yes. What do you expect when you come first time here? Thank you. To everyone. Question to everyone who is here or who is planning to come or who just heard yes, to any foreigner. Yes. Yes. What they expecting when they were coming to Dagestan or even to North Caucasus? That take just big.
Yeah, honestly, also from my guess, they don't know what to expect. They just don't know. They have seen pictures, they have written some, they read some stories, but they don't know what to expect.
I would say people who, first of all, you know, if there are this many people in the world who travel to foreign countries, only this number of them travel to Dagestan. So this is like the most adventurous group of people. They come, you know, because they're not afraid. But like over here, this is what they've heard about Dagestan. It's dangerous. They've read these travel warnings. So this is one extreme, right? So their expectations, they're a little uneasy, but then when they get there, it's the total opposite extreme. People are so kind, come in my home. You know, it's totally different from what they're told. So yeah, I think that's pretty common. But you know, a lot of people just don't come because of what they read on the internet as far as like government travel warnings. And that's okay. You know, that's probably not who we want coming.
Yeah, I also agree. Dagestan is not a destination for every tourist. It's a destination next year for tourists who have already experience, who have been traveling, who maybe speak a little Russian. And Dagestan will continue to evolve as a tourist destination. But the first foreigners who come are people who are not afraid to go to a place where nobody has ever been. They are actually actively looking for a place to go where there are no other tourists. Yeah, and this is a very special type of tourist. And there will be other kinds of tourists coming. There will be tourists coming who are looking for guided tours, for more comfort tours, etc., etc. But right now, Dagestan is for the adventure tourists, for the tourists who really look the destination off the beaten paths. Yeah.
If I may add, is Gimat, as Gimat said, Dagestan is not about comfort. It's more about the views, beautiful nature. And if you are looking for such things like nature and views, this is the place to come. And in future, we hope that the comfort will improve too, but not right at the moment. We don't have such a great comfort. Let's be honest, right? But if we have these tourists, if they will be coming, the comfort will improve itself. It's quite obvious. So if you want to see the place, if you want to learn something new, Dagestan is the place to come to visit. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't worry about not having good enough roads, good enough hotels, whatever. Yeah. You have enough. You have enough. And if there is something missing in comfort, the hospitality, the people easily balance it out. Yeah. This is don't worry.
Don't speak about Moscow and St. Petersburg. Compared with other roads in Russia, Dagestani roads are much better, I would say, and everyone would say it. So it's not the worst roads here.
Absolutely, Dagestan will develop. There is nothing to worry about. So the question is, next year, how do we here, as the group of English-speaking people interested in tourism, what can we do to create a positive image, to just show the world or show some people that Dagestan exists and it's a place to consider to visit in 2022? What can we do? Take the break.
Hello, and I would like to say that really, what about the Russian news? Even when Russia broadcasts Dagestan, it's usually broadcast in a bad way. So it's not like an advertisement for Dagestan tourism. And I think it is a good idea to have a big platform, maybe to have something to broadcast Dagestan, where that not only in Dagestan this only Europe can see our development, everything. Maybe to film about Dagestan, but not like local film, maybe movie like international movie about real Dagestan life. Maybe to make a short like reality show about living in Dagestan, country, yes, in Dagestan, yes, villages like this, because and it's a good idea to have like a flash mob, so among relatives and on acquaintances from Europe, from other countries, to tell about Dagestan, because it works, really, it matters when other people will say that it's so beautiful city from here, because really, yeah, Russian television is not a good way to know about Dagestan tourism. So good way, because usually, yeah, and because of Instagram, because of Instagram, a lot of people know this year about Dagestan, how many landscapes we have, and a lot of people come here this summer. Yes, and Instagram, yes, Facebook, and they help mostly.
Yes, I fully agree. Us as a single person here, we cannot make a huge international film about Dagestan, but we can reach maybe 10, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 people on Instagram, on Facebook, on a blog. We here as the English speakers, we can put interesting, positive information about Dagestan and the North Caucasus on the internet. We can put it for people to find. We can actively tell people about Dagestan, yeah, like for example, Basira, yeah, your art tour, you can actively look up on the internet people who do this kind of tours and just write them an email, write them a message on their Instagram and tell them, look, have you guys ever heard about Dagestan? Check out my site, check out This is exactly the way how we are advertising. We look for people who like to travel by car, which I just write them. I just tell them, look, this is what we do. This is my website. This is the online experience. And I think this is something that each and everyone can do. Yeah, create positive content, Instagram videos, YouTube, blogs, whatever, and make sure that the word is spread. Like you said, Abdul, yeah, Abu, you have your French guy coming. He will come back with his friends. He will come and make a YouTube video or some documentation. Just everybody of us can add a little bit to grow the interest in Dagestan. Of course.
Okay, I have two ideas. First, Andreas, when you said, I was surprised when you said that you support no guides for tourists. They write in Dagestan themselves. I just wonder why. And so my idea is to prepare English-speaking guides who will travel with tourists across Dagestan. It's answer to a question: what can we do to make Dagestan more popular among foreign tourists?
Yes.
We have several English teachers here. If they can prepare programs, of course, they will have their interest in it. So they can first prepare English-speaking guides. Second, I think we can use you and your web portal. We can suggest to some local people who work with tourists that you can recommend them, and you can place recommendation on your website. It's like a Michelin stars or something like that, and you can recommend those people. No, you can recommend. Yes, you can recommend those people to foreign tourists. And once that foreign tourist will come to Dagestan, he will open your web portal. He will find those recommendations and he'll address that specific host who will work with him. Who can speak English, and he can work with the tourists. And tourists, of course, it will be easier for tourists to come to speaking to English-speaking hosts. And this is my idea. First, prepare, teach English-speaking guides, and then place some recommendations on your website.
Yeah, thank you. I think don't wait for some foreign guy like me to put recommendations to some companies. You are the one who has to recommend yourself. Put a great web page, put great pictures together, put something together which the people, the foreign companies, whatever, see and say, wow, this is something for our guests. This is something our tourists would absolutely enjoy. Make a professional appearance and then actively contact the other people, write an email, look up which companies already do tours in Georgia, in Armenia, which companies are already doing something similar, and just say, hey guys, you probably have never heard about, but there is a place called Dagestan. And here is the link. This is what I do. These are the guides, these are the tours, these are the prices. No. You don't need me to be involved in this. You can do it yourself.
Yes, you are right. It's not just passing our part of work to you, but it's just when few hosts will will know that others let me formulate my thoughts. First of all, you are right. It's no need to wait for someone. But I think that if several hosts will get some recommendations on, or if they will work with foreign tourists, others who see this also will join this English-speaking community and also will make their best to learn English and to make themselves popular among foreign tourists. Of course, we don't have to wait for someone. It's just my recommendation how I see this situation.
Yeah, from our company's point of view, or the other companies like Julia from Adventure Dream Team Dima, if you have something ready to go, a masterclass, something interesting, a hiking route, something where you have English-speaking people who welcome them, have the package ready, have it presented in a very nice way, and then just share it. If you have something where I say, my guests would love it, I send you my guests, I recommend it to you. If you have something which is interesting for Julia, Dima, or other, Andrew, yeah, working here, perfect. But also advertise it directly to the German, to the English, to the European companies. Don't be shy. The worst thing that can happen that nobody replies to your email. Then just send it to another company. Yeah. Sorry?
Yeah, I agree, Andreas. You're absolutely right. So we are going to keep on writing to foreign agencies to tell about the Republic. We are writing our blog. We tell a lot of things about the North Caucasus and in particular Dagestan in this blog. We are making videos for our YouTube channel, which is also great. A lot of people, foreigners, watch these videos and comment. They write that it's very interesting. Thank you for sharing this information. Or I haven't found anything, but on your YouTube channel, I have found a lot of some useful information. So I also advise you to make such videos, to make a channel or something like that, or share your videos with us, and we can add them to our YouTube channel. It is called the North Caucasus Traveler on YouTube. And we have a group for foreigners on Facebook. Andreas knows that. It's called the North Caucasus. Let me think. The North Caucasus Travel Community. So it's not for advertising our services or something like that. It's a community for travelers, foreigners who want to come to the North Caucasus. Yeah, and Dagestan as well. We are talking about Dagestan today, I know. And for people, for locals from the North Caucasus who can share something useful or something interesting about the area. So we are trying to promote the North Caucasus and all the republics through this Facebook group as well. So we really try to do that. So if you have some ideas how to do it in different ways, yeah, share, of course we will do it, because we understand if people do not know about the area, they will never come, right?
Can I share?
Of course, Andrew.
Yeah, you know, I think YouTube obviously is an incredible tool to use for marketing Dagestan. And I'll give one example. Somebody sent me a link to a page on YouTube. It's the Ulingovi. It's some family in southern Dagestan. I don't know if they're Lezgins or what their nationality is. They have a YouTube channel. Their content is in English with English subtitles. They make videos about life in the mountains. They have 380,000 subscribers and over 50 million views on their YouTube page. That is unbelievable. It's much better than anything we've ever done as Americans about Dagestan. So I don't know who this family is. I don't know how they became so proficient on YouTube, but they might be like the best advertisement for Dagestan on YouTube, other than like Habib Nurmagomedov. So I think video has great power right now, making good videos, and people are searching on YouTube for things. So I would encourage everyone, like, really use that tool to market the region in a good way.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, sure. Just a second.
Andrea said I only want to add a couple words. Before we come into Dagestan, my friend from France, Bastien, he was warned at some office, I don't remember what it was, but he was told that Dagestan was on the list of so-called dangerous regions. So he was supposed to, so he should be aware of that situation could be dangerous. But yet he came here and he was fascinated. And then he told his family, his friends about our region. And I hope by this way, this negative image of our republic will change for the better. Thank you.
This is like we cannot change what the foreign offices write. I tried. I asked the Austrians evaluated and say it's still dangerous. We can't change what they write, but we can put English speaking, useful, interesting, positive information on the internet. And we are at a big advantage because there is not much English speaking information on the internet. If somebody is interested to travel the Caucasus, to travel Dagestan, and starts to Google, he'll find your Instagram, your blog, your YouTube videos, because there is almost no competition. You can now become a really useful, a really good information. You can be pioneers. And then, of course, you give them, like Julia, you give the people free travel advice, you give them videos, you give them inspiration, but at the same time, you build a connection with them, and they say, wow, Julia's YouTube channel was so much about that, interesting, good information. Let's book a tour with her, or let's make an art tour with you, or do a masterclass with Alejandro, or whatever. You have to build a connection with the people. They find you on the internet, and then they just follow you, and they become kind of a friend, yeah? And when you then start to deal with them, it's not like you met for the first time. They have a feeling they already know you for some time, and they trust you. And this takes a lot of effort to build enough useful stuff on the internet that the people then come and you can make money out of it, yeah? But it's absolutely worth it. And you are the pioneers. You can do it right now, yeah? You can put your interesting English-speaking positive information about Dagestan, the region, put it out. People will find it, 100%. Yeah, I think like it was absolutely great today, and as I said, if, like, as I said, join the WhatsApp group if you're not there. Yeah, I'll add you. You can add you. Of course, you can be an admin. No problem. Yeah, just let's get in. Let's keep in touch. Let's produce positive content for the internet so that the people find more positive than negative stuff about Dagestan and the places we live. And don't forget, we have the next event planned in April, yeah, where we'll meet hopefully all again. Yeah. So thank you very much, and thank you from Zoom as well, everybody who joined virtually. Thank you very much.
Bye.